Wireless gear is everywhere on set today, and it's critical for a remote system like Titan and LT that your wireless link be as robust and reliable as possible. Well, today we're really stoked to be introducing LongWave, which is our new sub-Gigahertz wireless radio upgrade for Titan and LT. We're going to go through the features of the new wireless radios, as well as installation, and even do some field testing to show off how robust and reliable this new upgrade is. So let's jump in. Let's start by talking about the standard radios that are included with Titan and LT, which are of course 2.4 gigahertz radios. Now, 2.4 gigahertz is the most commonly used frequency for wireless devices. It has the most international acceptance. There's not really any red tape around 2.4 gigahertz devices. Now, the downside of that is that it's the most congested frequency to operate on, especially in a professional setting. Everything is on 2.4 gigahertz. So with LongWave, we're actually using what's called a sub-Gigahertz, specifically a 900 megahertz wireless radio, which makes this completely immune to any kind of 2.4 gigahertz interference or congestion, because it operates at a completely different frequency. The other benefit of a 900 megahertz wireless link is that you also have vastly improved range. 900 megahertz is kind of the gold standard for professional wireless control, which again is one of a few sub-gigahertz radio frequencies to operate on for LongWave. And you can see how nicely integrated the wireless radio is on LT, so it's only a few bolts and that pops right out. Same for the wireless module that's on the Titan controller, which is actually the same unit that you'll see down here on Titan as well. So if you're ordering a LongWave kit for LT, you're gonna get a module for the controller as well as the gimbal. And if you're ordering a LongWave kit for Titan, you're gonna get two of these, one for your controller and one for your Titan. So what I'm holding here is the LT wireless module. I'll hold it up here next to the standard one that's already installed in the spine. You can see how nicely integrated this radio is. It's not, externally cabled or Velcroed or bolted onto the side. LongWave has 10 times the transmission power as the standard 2.4 gigahertz radio, so we're able to get away with a single radio and a single antenna. So that's one of the things that physically is different about these wireless modules. And of course, that is the same for the Titan controller module, and you can see the difference in same overall form factor, but one antenna versus two, and that would be the same as well for installing into Titan. If you're ordering a LongWave kit for your LT, you're gonna get one gimbal wireless module and one controller wireless module. If you're ordering LongWave for Titan, you'll get two of these LongWave modules, one for the controller and one for Titan. Now let's take a look at how easy it is to install LongWave in your Titan or your LT. I'm gonna start with the controller here. I'm gonna take off these antenna, and then I'm gonna pull the standard radio. So we just loosen up these two screws. These are captive screws so they don't fall out, and the standard radio comes out that easy. And of course, installation of LongWave is just the opposite. You can see that there's these spring connectors on the inside of the module. Slide that right in and you fasten it back down. So about 20 seconds to take out your standard radio and install LongWave on the controller. Now let's take a look at the LT gimbal wireless module. We're gonna loosen these 4 screws that secure the wireless module into the spine here. And now with all 4 of these screws loosened, I can pull on the back of my SMA connectors here on the antenna and pop that wireless radio module out. So there's my standard 2.4 gigahertz radio. Can pop that out, and then LongWave goes right in its place. So in less than 2 minutes, I can install LongWave in my Titan controller as well as LT, and I'm off to the races. Let's take a look at the Titan module, which is actually the same as the controller, but we'll show it anyway. Again, I'm gonna take off these 2 antenna here and loosen these same screws that secure the module into Titan. And with those loosened, this just slides right out. On the controller and the Titan module, there is this keying feature, which prevents me from putting it in backwards. So if I try to put this in what is currently upside down for the gimbal, it won't go in. If I put it in the right way, it slides in just like that. And then we can just fasten it with those 2 same screws. So installation of the wireless module in Titan is just as easy, and now we're off to the races on that system as well. So now that we've got LongWave installed, let's take it out into the field and do some real world testing to see how robust and reliable that wireless performance is in an urban environment. So we're out here in Minneapolis on the side of the road with a tracking vehicle. We got LT on the back with the Titan controller, of course, both with LongWave installed. Right now, the Titan controller is sending a slow pan command to LT so we can actually see that there's a solid wireless connection. And we're gonna send Mason down this road and see how far away he can get while still having a solid wireless connection with LongWave. So Mason, hit the road.
Sounds good.
All right, so Mason is on his way, and I can still see him here. He's maybe, 50 to 100 meters away right now, but we're looking for at least a mile of wireless connection strength here in a realistic city environment. This is a pretty realistic situation where you're gonna need a solid wireless connection. And Mason, how are we looking? Still panning?
Still going good, strong.
Awesome. So I can see on my screen right here, I still have a solid wireless connection, and I think Mason is at least a quarter to a half mile away right now. How you doing, Mason? Still panning?
Still going, and there's a bunch of cars around me too.
So the importance of a real world test like this versus just a line of sight test is because there's gonna be a lot of potentially disruptive objects for wireless, like the metal of cars, power lines, anything that might harm or interfere with a wireless connection. And as soon as you start seeing it like skip, you can tell me.
Looks like we're starting to hit that just now.
Get a little bit bouncy there?
Yep.
And where are you right now?
We're at Northeast Johnson Street right now.
Okay, copy. So you're coming up to Fremont. Let me know when it's a solid loss.
Looks like full loss now.
Okay, excellent. At this point, Mason is over a mile away right now, and we have a full wireless disconnect. So we know that in that last maybe 25% is where we start to have that signal breakup, but still an insane amount of range that we're able to still get, with him being that far away in a realistic environment like this. So as Mason is coming back into the reception zone, within that mile rated range, we're starting to see some movement back again on his end, and we'll see the wireless connection basically regain as soon as he's back within range to reestablish connection. All right, so Mason is probably 3/4 of a mile away. I can see that I have my telemetry data coming back from LT to the controller, and our wireless signal is gonna slowly start building back up, and I'm able to monitor that. So you can see, even with Mason over a half mile away, I still have a great wireless signal strength right now, and I have no errors or warnings that might indicate some signal loss. Thanks for taking the time to learn about LongWave, our new wireless radio upgrade for Titan and LT. If you have questions about the performance of LongWave, if it's right for your application, whether that's a studio, outdoors, or whatever kind of filming you're doing, make sure you get in touch with us. Also, if you have any questions about compliance of sub-Gigahertz radios in your region, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.